I agreed to pretend to be your daughter in your final moments, but nothing could have prepared me for the secret I would uncover hours later. My footsteps echoed along the endless corridor of Mass General, each sound a reminder of the gravity waiting at the end. Fluorescent lights drew hypnotic patterns across polished marble, and the clean, bitter scent of antiseptic filled my lungs like a second skin. My hands shook as I held the medication tray, an arsenal designed to prolong what nature insisted on ending. I did not know, in that exact moment, that in exactly 47 minutes my entire life would flip upside down. The clock on the wall read at 2:13 in the afternoon. I counted the seconds in my head since leaving the night shift, my body protesting the lack of sleep while my resolve held firmer than the exhaustion. For 3 months I had worked as a palliative care nurse at the most prestigious hospital in Boston, and every day arrived carrying its own weight of stories muffled by illness. The door to room 814 slid open, revealing a suite that looked more like a luxury apartment than a hospital space. There he was, Lucas Alencar, the most feared billionaire in Boston, founder of Alencar Pharmaceuticals, now reduced to a pale, fragile figure against immaculate white sheets. The curtains were half drawn, letting the late autumn light wash the room in gold, a cruel contrast to the pallor of his skin. His green eyes, the same ones that, according to business magazines, could silence chief executives in billion-dollar meetings, locked onto me with an intensity that stalled the air. There was something in that gaze that transcended sickness, a clarity that defied the body betraying him. Nurse Isabel, his voice was a rasping whisper, each word costing visible effort. I need a favor that will sound completely insane. My heart raced. For weeks, Lucas Alencar had barely managed full sentences between coughing fits and heavy medication. Now his voice carried an urgency that made me forget my own fatigue. What can I do for you, Mr. Alencar? My voice sounded steadier than I felt. He closed his eyes for a beat, gathering strength. When he opened them again, I saw a vulnerability I had never seen before, not the frailty of disease, but of a man meeting his deepest ghosts. My daughter, left 20 years ago. The words came like a sacred confession. I want you to pretend to be her for one day. The floor seemed to vanish beneath me. Why would a man who had everything in the world, an estimated $4.3 billion, a global pharmaceutical company, properties on 3 continents, ask for something so human? What secret could demand a last-minute performance like this? My mind sprinted to my own wounds. I grew up in the Massachusetts foster system, moving through 7 homes before I earned my independence at 18. The word family always sounded like an empty promise, something other people had that I could only watch from across the street. And now this man, standing at the border between life and death, asked me to play the most intimate role there is. Mr. Alencar, I began, reaching for the right words. I understand you are facing a difficult time, but please. His trembling hand lifted from the bed, thin, pale fingers open toward me. I know how it sounds. But there are things I need to set right before I go. And I need a daughter to do it. His eyes begged, and something in that unguarded sincerity touched a place in me I had kept locked for years. Maybe it was exhaustion. Maybe it was every night I had spent wondering what it might feel like to have a father who wanted me near. Or maybe it was simply one human recognizing the pain of another. For one day, I whispered, my fingers finding his in a gesture that should have been professional but felt painfully personal. I will pretend to be your daughter for one day. Relief moved through his frail body like a wave. Thank you, he breathed, eyelids growing heavy. There is so much I need to tell you about everything. Before my brain could process the size of what I had just agreed to, the door behind me burst open. The staccato of high heels cracked against marble before I turned. Elena Alencar entered at a measured clip, her slim, elegant figure pressurizing the room as if the air had thickened. She wore a caramel Chanel suit that matched the carefully styled blonde in her hair. But it was her eyes, the color of polished steel, that froze me in place. Behind her, a man in a perfectly tailored suit held a brown leather folio. In his hands, a document with a red ribbon I recognized on sight, the last will and testament of Lucas Alencar. "Lucas, dear," Elena's voice was honey-laced with venom. "I brought the attorney to finalize those documents we discussed. Time to set everything in order." Her gaze slid over me as if I were furniture, but not before I caught the quick calculation in her eyes, a rapid assessment of potential threat. In that instant, I understood that Lucas's request was not nostalgia or medication-induced madness. It was survival. Lucas tried to sit up, his weak muscles shaking. "Elena," his voice rose, edged with an emotion I had never heard from him, "not now." "On the contrary, love," she smiled, but it did not touch her eyes. "It is exactly the time. Dr. Robertson said we must prepare for all eventualities." Her eyes returned to me, and this time the challenge was unmistakable. "Nurse, perhaps you should give my husband some privacy. Family matters, you understand." My hand still rested on Lucas's, and I felt his fingers close lightly around mine. Almost imperceptible, but enough. Actually, I heard myself say before reason could interfere, Mr. Alencar and I were in the middle of an important conversation. About family. Elena's smile stalled on her lips. Her eyes narrowed a fraction, studying my face, and fear pricked through my sudden resolve. What was I doing? Why was I stepping into something I did not understand? The attorney, a middle-aged man with the rigid posture of a lifetime in boardrooms, stepped forward. "Mr. Alencar, we understand this is a difficult moment, but it is crucial these documents are signed while you are lucid." The word lucid hung in the air like an accusation. Suddenly, everything made sense: Lucas's desperate request, Elena's timing, the rush to sign. Lucas looked at me, and in his green eyes I saw not only gratitude but a silent plea for help. Right then, between the dying billionaire and the calculating wife, I made my choice. "Father," the word left my lips before I could stop it, sounding strange and suddenly right. "Perhaps we should hear what they have to say." The room fell dead silent. Even the heart monitors seemed to hold their breath. Elena went still, her face a mask of disbelief barely containing fury. Lucas, however, smiled, a real smile, full of pain and triumph. "Yes, daughter," he said, meaning threading every syllable. "Let us listen. Together." While the attorney opened the folio and Elena gathered herself, I felt the weight of the part one was playing, and the very real danger I had just stepped into. Because something told me this was not a kind performance for a dying man. It was the opening move in a battle I did not yet know I was fighting. The word daughter still reverberated through the room as the attorney spread documents on the bedside table. Every page seemed to carry the weight of decisions that would reshape lives, my stumbling into this family drama the most unexpected of all. Elena recovered her composure with unnerving speed. "Lucas, dear," her voice laced with a manufactured sweetness that raised goosebumps, "we must be practical. The will needs to reflect your current wishes, especially considering recent circumstances." Her eyes found me again, and this time I saw the calculus behind them. She was evaluating me not as a person, but as a variable in a complex financial equation. Lucas closed his eyes, his breath turning shallower. "Elena," I said, "this is not the time. My daughter and I have family matters to discuss." The way he emphasized my daughter spiked the heartbeat of everyone in the room. The attorney visibly squirmed, fingers twitching at his tie. Mr. Alencar, the attorney ventured gently, I understand, but there are legal time frames to consider. And given your health. My health, Lucas cut in, opening his eyes with a clarity that defied his failing body, is exactly why I need time with my daughter. The documents can wait. Elena exhaled sharply. This is absurd, Lucas. You do not have a daughter. What are you trying to prove? The silence that followed spoke louder than any answer. Lucas looked at me, and in his eyes I saw not only a plea but a quiet confession. Something shifted between us then. The line between performance and reality began to fade. Perhaps, I suggested, my voice steadier than I expected, you could come back tomorrow? My father seems to need rest. Elena studied my face the way a surgeon studies a tumor, with a blend of fascination and contempt. And who exactly are you to make such suggestions? I am the nurse assigned to his care, I said, holding her gaze. And at the moment, my professional judgment is that stress will not help his condition. It was a risk, but it worked. The attorney began gathering the papers. Mr. Alencar, perhaps the nurse is right. We can return tomorrow morning. Elena looked ready to protest, but a glance from the attorney checked her. Her lips flattened to a hard line before she turned and swept out, heels firing down the corridor. When the door shut, the tension fell from the room. Lucas released a long sigh, sinking into the bed as if all his strength had left at once. Thank you, he whispered, eyes closed. She does not understand. What does she not understand? I asked softly, adjusting his pillow. My fingers found a knot of tension at his shoulder and worked it without thinking. He opened his eyes, and for the first time I saw tears there. Everything. She does not understand that some things are more important than money. That legacy is not what you leave, it is what you build. My own emotions tangled beyond easy sorting. Here I was, an orphan who had spent a lifetime dreaming of family, pretending to be the daughter of a man who carried his own grief over the child he lost. Why did you choose me? The question escaped before I could stop it. There are dozens of nurses here. Why me? He studied my face a long time, searching for something. There is something in you, he said at last. A resilience. You remind me of someone I once knew. The clock on the wall read at 3:07 in the afternoon. 20 minutes since Elena left, and the outside world had dissolved. We were inside a suspended bubble where normal rules did not apply. Tell me about your daughter, I urged gently. What was she like? Pain flashed in his eyes, almost physical. Her name was Sophia. She had your smile, the way you smile with your eyes before your mouth. And your determination. My heart hurt for him, and for me. For every lost daughter and absent father. For the stories that never got told. What happened to her? I asked, stepping into dangerous ground I could not avoid. Lucas closed his eyes, and for a moment I thought he had fallen asleep. When he spoke again, his voice was so soft I had to lean in. She left 20 years ago. A car wreck on Route 2. I was not there when she needed me. The words hung between us, heavy with decades of unresolved guilt. I understood then, he was not only asking me to pretend. He was trying to rewrite the past, to mend what had broken. Sometimes, I said quietly, my own wounds bleeding through my voice, people leave before we are ready to let them go. It is no one's fault, it is just life. He opened his eyes, and what I saw there stole my breath. Not only pain or regret, but recognition. As if he saw something in me that even I did not know was there. You lost someone too, he said. not a question. My throat tightened. I lost the chance to know whether I had anyone to lose. I grew up in the system. I never knew my parents. The silence that followed was different, more intimate, more understanding. Two strangers bound by family-shaped holes. Maybe, he whispered, his hand finding mine again, we can help fill a few of those empty spaces. Even if only for a day. Something fundamental shifted between us then. We were no longer merely nurse and patient, or actor and audience. We were two wounded souls borrowing comfort from each other. We spent the next hour talking about small things, films we loved, favorite foods, childhood memories. He told me Sophia adored horses and always wanted to visit Ireland. I told him about my obsession with mystery novels and how, as a child, I imagined my parents were spies who would one day return for me. It felt strangely natural, this dance between truth and make-believe. I was not pretending to be Sophia anymore. I was becoming a version of her, or maybe a version of myself that could have been. When the monitors chimed softly for his medication, disappointment pricked me. The spell was breaking, the hospital's reality flooding our fragile world. I need to give your medication, I said, rising reluctantly. He took my hand. Promise you will come back tomorrow. That we will continue this. There was so much fear in his eyes, fear of being abandoned again, fear of dying alone, that my heart ached. I promise, I said, and for the first time since I accepted this insane role, I realized I was no longer lying. At the sink, my eyes caught my reflection in the mirror. Who was that woman looking back? The professional nurse crossing ethical lines? The orphan starving for connection? Or something new being born in this room of pain and redemption? When I returned, Lucas was staring at a small photo he had taken from the nightstand. A freckled red-haired girl of about 10, Sophia. She had my eyes, I realized with a start. The same slight tilt, the same green intensity. She would be your age now, he said softly. 28. Perhaps with a family of her own, a life. Perhaps, I said, taking the photo. Our fingers touched, and a strange current passed through me, an echo of something familiar, something I should have known. That was when I sensed there was more at stake. It was not only about soothing a dying man or my own loneliness. A thread connected our stories in a way neither of us yet understood. As he slept, Sophia's photo still in his hand, I watched his face soften. A question began to form, so impossible I barely dared think it. What if this was not a performance? What if, in a way that defied sense, I was exactly where I was meant to be? The door opening made me jump. Elena was back, this time alone. Her eyes flicked from the photo and Lucas's hand to me. It seems you are getting attached to your role, nurse, she said, silk sharp into a filament. Let me remind you, replaceable parts are discarded when they stop being useful. Before I could answer, she turned and left, her words trailing like a threat. And I realized, with a cold knot tightening in my stomach, that the game I thought I was playing was far more dangerous than I knew. Somewhere between truth and lie, I had crossed a line, and I did not know if I could find my way back. The door closed behind Elena, but her threat lingered like toxic smoke. My fingers trembled as I sorted the medication tray, the quiet clink of vials mirroring the clatter inside my chest. Lucas slept deeply, Sophia's photo slack in his hand. Watching his peaceful face calmed me, until I noticed his breathing. Too regular. Almost artificial. Training triggered alarms before my conscious thought did. I stepped to the bed, hand on his forehead. Cold. Too cold for ordinary rest. My eyes jumped to the monitors, all perfect. Too perfect. Mr. Alan Carr? I whispered, easing his shoulder. Lucas? No response. His chest rose and fell in that same mechanical rhythm, but when I placed my stethoscope to his heart, the sound was wrong. Too soft. Too far away. Panic rose in my throat. Someone had tampered with the monitors. Someone had given him something they should not have. My mind flew to Elena, her abrupt exit, the veiled threat. Was this her answer to our small rebellion? Poisoned to hurry the inevitable? I ran for the door, hands shaking so badly I fumbled the handle. I needed help, needed Dr. Robertson, needed anyone who could undo whatever had been done. The door would not open. I twisted harder, shoved my shoulder into the wood. Nothing. We were locked from the outside. Someone! I shouted, pounding the door. We need help in here. Silence. The kind that only happens when people have been told not to hear. I rushed back, heart thudding. Lucas did not respond, his body now twitching with small tremors. This was not his baseline failing, this was acute, induced. My eyes swept the room for anything, something. Then I saw them, the vials Elena had brought earlier, neatly arranged on the bedside table. One had no label. My hand shook as I opened it, smelling the contents. Not like any medication I knew, a faint sweet odor, like almonds. Cyanide? The thought made me reel. No. Too obvious. Something subtler, something that would mimic expected complications and leave no easy trace. I remembered my toxicology training, substances that imitate degenerative symptoms, accelerating decline behind a mask of plausibility. I grabbed the in-house phone for the pharmacy. Dead. We were completely isolated. Kneeling by the bed, I took Lucas's hand. Lucas, please, I begged, tears spotting his skin. Fight. Please fight. His eyes opened suddenly, but they did not find me. They fixed on something beyond, something only he could see. Sophia, he breathed, voice dry as wind through dead leaves. You came back to me? My heart stopped. He was not seeing me, he was seeing his daughter. The real Sophia. Yes, Father, I said, the lie fueled now by desperation. I am here. I am not going anywhere. His vision slowly focused, and for the first time since I met him, I saw fear, not of death, but of losing something precious he had just found. They do not want me to see you, he whispered, clutching my hand with surprising strength. She said you are not real. Who said that, Father? I asked, though I already knew. His breathing sped. My wife. She showed documents. Said you are an imposter. That I am delirious. Rage burned so hot it whitened my vision. Elena was not only trying to kill him, she wanted his mind unspooled first, to make him doubt his reality. She lied, Father, I said steadily, wiping sweat from his brow. I am here. I am real. He searched my face, eyes tracking every feature as if hunting for a flaw, for proof I was an illusion. Your eyes, he whispered at last. They are different from hers. Greener. Like my mother's. Something in the way he said it stopped me. Too specific, too personal for mere delirium. Tell me about your mother, I said, keeping my voice calm while my mind sprinted. I needed to keep him awake, aware, while I found a way out. He closed his eyes, a sad smile grazing his mouth. Her eyes were emerald. She said they were the gift of her Irish grandmother. Sophia. Sophia had my eyes. But you. His eyes opened, lucid now. Who are you, really? The question hovered, heavy with meanings we did not yet understand. Because the truth was, I no longer knew. The line between Isabel the nurse and the daughter he needed had dissolved. I am who you need me to be, I said, and for the first time, I fully believed it. That was when I heard it, almost inaudible, but real. Someone was trying the door from the outside. I stood silently, lifting a heavy saline bottle as an improvised weapon. If Elena had returned to finish the job, I would not let her. The handle turned slowly. The door opened a few inches and caught, still locked from within, but now I could see who stood outside. Not Elena. The gardener I had noticed earlier, worry furrowing his face. Nurse, he whispered through the gap. I need to speak to you. It is urgent. My first reaction was suspicion. He worked for Elena. But something in his eyes, a sincerity everyone else here lacked, made me pause. What do you want? I kept my voice low. She fired the night staff, he said quickly. Only me and the night guard are here. And he has orders not to intervene, no matter what he hears. Ice slid through me. Elena was clearing the house, erasing witnesses. I need help, I said, my voice shaking. I think he has been poisoned. The gardener, Robert, I remembered, nodded, face set. I know. I saw her with his meds. Here is the antidote. He pushed a small bottle through the gap. Activated charcoal. Give it to him now. And take this. He slid a manila envelope through. Hide it. Your life may depend on it. I took the envelope and the bottle, hands trembling. Why are you helping me? He glanced back, checking the hall. Because I worked for Mr. Alencar for 20 years. And because I believe you are who you say you are. Before I could ask what he meant, he was gone, leaving me alone with questions and the man fighting for breath. I hurried to Lucas, measuring the charcoal with shaking hands. Father, you need to drink this, I said, lifting his head gently. He resisted at first, eyes glassed with doubt. She said you would try to poison me. The pain of that sentence was physical. Elena had planted her lies so deep he now saw the threat in me. Please, Father, I begged, tears falling onto his cheek. Trust me. Just this once. Something in my voice, the naked anguish, must have reached him. His lips parted, and I managed to get the slurry down. The effects came almost at once. He began coughing, body racked. For one wild moment, I thought Robert had tricked me, that I had finished what Elena started. But then his breathing steadied, his eyes cleared. He looked at me and, for the first time since the crisis began, truly saw me. Isabel? His voice was weak, but lucid. I am here, I said, gripping his hand. You are all right now. Even as I said it, I knew it was a lie. Nothing was all right. We stood at the center of a storm only just forming, and I felt the rules of the game shift for good. Because it was no longer about comforting a dying man or filling my own emptiness. It was survival now. His and mine. And the envelope Robert had given me, still sealed, already heavy as a stone in my pocket, told me that the answers I wanted might be more terrifying than any question I had dared ask. Clarity returned to Lucas's eyes like a tide, slow, relentless. He studied me for a long moment, clearly sorting the fog of the last hours. What happened? His voice was rougher, but stronger. I sat on the edge of the bed, still holding his hand. A decision crystallized in me, sharp and irrevocable. I could not be only the nurse anymore. Not when someone was actively trying to kill him. "Someone tampered with your medication," I said evenly, meeting his eyes. "I believe it was Elena." He did not look surprised. Instead, a deep sadness crossed his face. "I knew," he whispered. "These past months, small things. Things you could blame on the disease, but..." His voice thinned, and fury rose in me. He knew. He knew and stayed. "Why? Why did you do nothing?" The question came harsher than I intended. His eyes met mine, and what I saw knocked the breath from me. Not resignation. Not fear. Determination. Because I needed to be sure. And because I was waiting for you. The words hung, heavy with meanings my mind refused to process. Waiting for me? How could he be waiting for someone he had not known existed until 3 months ago? I remembered the envelope in my pocket. My hands trembled opening it, the yellow paper hot as if it burned. Inside was a single document, a DNA report. My eyes tracked the page, stopping at the name at the top. Isabel Marie Connolly. My name. Then the results. A 99.8% probability of paternity. Lucas Allen Carr listed as the father. The world stopped. The monitor beeps, my own breathing, even the tick of the clock, everything disappeared into a vacuum of disbelief. This cannot be right," I whispered, legs weakening as I leaned into the bed frame. Lucas watched my face, relief and worry mingling. "I knew from the first day you walked in," he said softly. "You have my mother's eyes. The same way you tilt your head when you think. Even your voice, the same timbre." My mind sprinted in circles, grasping for any flaw to make this less impossible. "But how? Why did you not tell me?" "Because I needed to know who you were first," he said, voice thick. "And because Elena, she killed my first daughter. I could not risk her doing the same to you." The words "she killed my first daughter" cracked the room like a gunshot. Nausea rose in my throat. "Sophia?" I managed, voice threadbare. He closed his eyes, pain so raw it looked like a wound. "It was not an accident. Elena, she found out about the affair I had with your mother. When Sophia was born, she made it look like an accident." The picture refocused, every piece clicking into a horrible pattern. The rush to sign the will. The isolation. The tainted meds. It all made sense now, terrible, lethal sense. "Why did you not go to the police?" My voice shook. "No proof," he said, opening his eyes. "And because I deserved it. I destroyed my family for greed, for ambition. I married Elena for her connections, not love. And when I met your mother..." He faltered, tears shining. "Her name was Catherine. She was everything Elena was not. Kind. True. But I was too much a coward to leave my marriage. When she became pregnant, I sent her away. Told her to do whatever she wanted with the baby." Each sentence was a blade. My own story, the mother who left me, the system, the years alone, reduced to the cowardice of the man in front of me. "She left me at an orphanage," I said, voice flat. "Did you know that?" The pain in his eyes was answer enough. "I found out only recently. When my health deteriorated, I hired investigators. They found her, your mother. She died 5 years ago. Cancer. The room tilted. My life, my unanswered questions, every answer lay here, with a man who chose wealth over his child. A pure, searing anger flooded me. He knew. He knew where I was and did nothing. You left me there, I whispered, fists clenched. You knew and left me in the system. I did not know. His voice rose, raw with anguish. Catherine never told me where she left you. She hated me for abandoning her. The investigator found the orphanage 3 months ago. That was when I hired you. 3 months. Exactly when I started here. Not chance. Not luck. Calculation. The truth hit like a train. I thought I had been helping a stranger, building something real, and I had been walking onto a stage he set long ago. I stood, stepping back. The space between us stretched wide, physical, moral, impossible. So all of this, I gestured at the room, at our so-called relationship. What was it? Your conscience? Your attempt to tie a neat bow on your life before you died? He tried to sit, face pale. No, Isabel. Please understand. At first, yes, it was about redemption. Then I met you. You were more than I ever hoped. Stronger, more compassionate, more everything. His words should have comforted me. Instead, I felt violated. Every vulnerable moment I had offered, every confession about my loneliness, my hunger for family, shared under false pretenses. I need to go, I said, legs unsteady. Please, no, he pleaded, hand reaching. She will kill you if you leave now. You know too much. He was right. Elena would never allow her husband's illegitimate daughter, especially one who knew her crimes, to walk free. But staying meant accepting that everything between us had been built on lies. It meant forgiving a man who abandoned me before I was born. My mind leapt to Robert, the gardener. He knew. He helped because he knew. How many others in this house understood the deadly game inside these walls? The envelope trembled in my hands, the DNA report heavy as lead. I had proof. Proof of who I was. Proof that Lucas knew. Proof that Elena was a murderer. But proof for what? Police likely on Elena's payroll? Courts where Alan Carmoni bought silence. I saw that there was no safe way out. Leaving meant death. Staying meant betraying myself. Lucas watched me, my eyes, full of painful understanding. I know I failed you, he said quietly. I know nothing I say will fix 28 years of absence. But please, let me try. Let me be the father I should have been. Then he said the words that changed everything. I have stage 4 pancreatic cancer, Isabel. The doctors gave me 6 months, 8 months ago. Every day since is stolen time. I will not waste what is left being the coward I have always been. The cancer explained so much, the pallor, the weight loss, the pain flares I had blamed on his heart. It also explained Elena's urgency, she was racing his biology. My decision did not arrive like lightning. It moved like tide, slow, inevitable, reshaping the shore. I walked back to the bed on heavy legs. I sat beside him and took his hand. Not the trembling hand of a patient, but the steady hand of my father. All right, I said, my voice surprisingly calm. We will fix this. Together. Relief washed across his face so deeply it hurt to watch. But my forgiveness was not free. It was strategy, an alliance between two people with everything to lose and one chance to survive. Because I finally understood the true choice before me. Not stay or go. be the casualty in someone else's story, or take ownership of my own. I chose to fight. Even as I chose, a part of me wondered if I was trading one cage for another, the loneliness of the orphanage for the tangled violence of a lethal family. Time would tell. And by the sound of familiar, decisive footsteps nearing the door, time was a luxury we no longer had. The footsteps stopped outside, and for a stretched eternity, silence reigned. My hand still held Lucas's, our new alliance feeling fragile as glass under pressure. The handle turned, slow, deliberate, and the door opened. Elena did not come alone. Two men in dark suits flanked her, faces professional and blank. Private security. Loyalty paid, not earned. "Lucas, dear," Elena began, voice as mellifluous as ever, eyes hard as ice. "I see you are feeling better. Perfect, because we have urgent matters." Her gaze clipped past me, disdain undisguised. "Nurse, you may leave us. My husband and I require privacy." Lucas squeezed my hand, a silent signal. "Isabel stays," he said, voice stronger than I expected. "Anything you need to say to me, you may say in front of my daughter." "Your daughter," she repeated, each syllable honed to a blade. "Lucas, your condition is clearly worsening. You are confusing the nurse with ghosts." "I am not confused," he said, still holding my hand. "Isabel is my daughter. She stays." One guard stepped forward. "Mr. Alencar, perhaps it would be best." "Get out of my room," Lucas snapped, and in that command I heard the man who built an empire from nothing. "All of you. Now." For a heartbeat, I thought it might work. The guards hesitated, eyes cutting to Elena. Then she laughed, dry and humorless, the sound scraping bone. "Oh, Lucas," she said, shaking her head. "Always the showman." But I brought a touch of additional persuasion. She gestured. One guard set a folder on the table. "Transfer of guardianship," she explained, smile sharpening. "Given your cognitive decline, I decided it best that someone assume decision-making. For your safety, of course." My blood chilled. She was moving to have him declared incompetent. If she succeeded, she would control everything, his fortune, his company, his life. "You cannot do that," Lucas said, but I heard doubt. "Oh, but I can," she said softly. "I have statements from 3 physicians about your decline. Witnesses saw you confuse staff for long-dead relatives." And now, her eyes landed on me. This pathetic charade. She approached the bed, and for the first time I saw the document in her hand, not the will. Something worse. "A restraining order," she said, handing it to me. "Against you, Nurse Connolly. For harassment, attempted extortion, and exploiting a vulnerable man." The world dropped. She was not only separating us, she was criminalizing me. If enforced, I would never work again. I might be jailed. "You are lying," I managed, hands shaking over the page. "Me?" She widened innocent eyes. "I have witnesses. Staff who saw you pushing Lucas to change his will. Records of your research into his fortune. Even this." She drew another document. A copy of the DNA report, same as the one Robert had given me. "Forgery," she purred. "A very serious crime. Especially when used to impersonate a dead man's daughter." My throat closed. She knew. She knew everything and had flipped our only proof against us. Lucas tried to rise, face gone gray with rage. Where did you get that?" Robert was very cooperative, she said, predatory smile growing. After I reminded him that his daughter needs expensive treatment a gardener's salary will never cover. The floor vanished. Robert had betrayed us. Our only ally had sold us out. He gave me the antidote, I whispered, numb. Oh yes, Elena chuckled. Activated charcoal. So dramatic. It almost made me believe you actually cared. She turned to the guards. Escort Nurse Connolly off the property. Make it clear that if she approaches my husband again, we will press criminal charges. The guards closed in. I stepped back, heart hammering. Wait, Lucas said, but his voice faltered. He was gasping again, color draining. Whatever she had given him was working once more. You should cooperate, dear, Elena told me, voice sugared with poison. Unless you want Lucas to suffer more than necessary. The threat was stark. If I resisted, she would hurt him. Worse than she already had. I looked at Lucas, his eyes a storm of pain and desperation. He reached for me and failed. The drugs, whatever they were, had his body again. All right, I said, strangely calm. I will go. The guards gripped my arms, hands hard as iron. They turned me toward the door, but not before I caught Lucas's last look, not farewell, but promise. A silent vow that this was not the end. Elena smiled as I passed. Good girl, she murmured. Sometimes it is wiser to know when to quit. But I was not quitting. Every step toward the door was calculated. Every breath a vow. They marched me down the hall past staff who would not meet my eyes. No one would help. No one would risk crossing Elena Alencar. In the main foyer, a guard handed me my bag, rifled, of course. Everything I owned, reduced to a nurse's purse. If you return, we call the police, he said, face unreadable. I did not answer. I took my bag, walked out into the Boston night, and let the cold wind fill my lungs. I was alone. No job. No home. A restraining order against me and accusations that could end my career. But I had something Elena had not expected, the certainty of who I was. And an Alencar's resolve. She was right about one thing. I was Lucas Alencar's daughter. And Alencars do not give up easily. As I walked into the dark, one question echoed, Robert had betrayed us, but why? The gardener who helped me, who gave me the antidote, why would he turn? Unless he had not. Unless this was part of a bigger plan. That was when I realized the fall was not the end of the story. It was the beginning of the real game. And I was about to learn to play by my own rules. A fine Boston rain wet my face as I wandered the dark streets, each drop like a tear I refused to shed. My bag thumped my leg, its contents disturbed, but not entirely emptied, I realized. Tucked into the lining where Elena had not searched was the yellow envelope Robert had given me. And something else, a small business card I did not recognize, a handwritten number on the back. I ducked under a canopy, hands shaking as I read the card. Dr. Enrique Martinez, Chief Researcher, Alencar Pharmaceuticals. The name was familiar, Lucas had mentioned him, the scientist chasing a cure. Why would Robert give me this? Unless his betrayal belonged to something larger. I found a payphone on the corner, one of the few left in Boston, and dialed with unsteady fingers. One ring, two, and then a man's voice. Martinez. Dr. Martinez? My voice came out rough. My name is Isabel Connolly. Robert gave me your number. Silence. Then, where are you? I looked around and described my location. "Stay there," he said quickly. "Do not move. Someone will pick you up in 15 minutes." The line went dead before I could ask more. I stood in the rain, each minute stretching, every sound making me jump. A trap? Had Elena planted the card to draw me out? A dark sedan rolled to the curb. The passenger window lowered. Robert sat behind the wheel. "Get in," he said, eyes scanning mirrors. Quickly. I slid inside, the car's warmth a shock. "What is happening?" "I thought you betrayed us." "I had to make it look real," he said, voice tight as he pulled into traffic. "Elena has the place wired. If I did not cooperate, she would have had us all killed. But the antidote, the DNA report. All part of the plan," he said, turning down a side street. "We needed Elena to believe she had control. That she had beaten us." "Plan? What plan?" He glanced over, grave. "Your father's." He knew this would happen. He prepared. My heart lurched. "What do you mean?" "Lucas is not as helpless as Elena believes," Robert said, stopping before a discreet apartment building. "For 2 years, while she thought he was fading, he was preparing. Building networks. Gathering proof." He cut the engine and turned to me. "Isabel, everything today, your firing, the restraining order, even my apparent betrayal, was choreographed. It was the only way to get you out of immediate danger while we set the counterstrike." Reality rearranged again. Lucas was not a victim, he was a strategist. And I was not a pawn, I was part of his plan. "Why did he not tell me?" I asked, voice shaking. "Because you needed to seem genuinely deceived," he said. "Elena is very good at smelling lies. If you had known, she would have sensed it." He opened the door. "Come. There is someone you need to meet." Inside, a gray-haired man with glasses stood before a wall crowded with documents, photos, and crisscrossing strings, a conspiracy map that would humble any professional investigator. "Dr. Martinez," Robert said. "This is Isabel." The man turned, sharp eyes measuring me. "Lucas's daughter," he said, not as a question. "At last. What is going on?" I asked, steadier now. "Where's my father?" "Safe," Martinez said, gesturing to a chair. "For the moment. Not for long." He nodded toward the wall. "This is what we are up against. Elena is not working alone. She is part of a block inside Alencar Pharmaceuticals that wants the company. They plan to kill Lucas's research into rare diseases and chase only lucrative drugs." My mind leapt to the conversations with Lucas, his passion for cures, his contempt for greed. The cure he mentioned. "It is real," Martinez said. "We found it. Not only for his disease, but for several rare genetic conditions. Elena and her allies want the research buried. They believe curing people is not a sustainable business." The monstrousness stole my breath. They were not only trying to kill Lucas for money, they were willing to condemn countless people to protect profits. "What can we do?" I asked. "Lucas prepared," Martinez said, a tired, determined smile. "He moved the research to secure labs. Set up foundations to ensure the work continues no matter what happens to him. And he prepared this for you." He handed me a thick envelope. Inside were documents, stock certificates, powers of attorney, even an alternate will naming me sole heir to his controlling stake. "He wants you to take the helm," Martinez said gently. "To protect his legacy." Not the legacy of money, the legacy of compassion. His words echoed what Lucas had said. Legacy is not what you leave, it is what you create. I understood why he had found me, why he brought me into this fight. It was not about redemption. It was about values. About choosing people over profit. What do I need to do? I asked, hands steady. Robert and Martinez shared a look. First, we get Lucas out of the mansion, Robert said. Elena plans to declare him incompetent tomorrow morning. Once she has legal control, it becomes much harder. How? Martinez pointed to a photo, a uniformed security officer. We have an ally inside security. He will help us move Lucas tonight. But we need a distraction. They both looked at me. Elena expects you to run, Robert said. To hide. If you walk back into that house, it is the last thing she expects. The plan was madness. To return where I had been expelled, under a restraining order, to face a woman who wanted me dead. But the wall was covered with faces, children who would be helped by Lucas's work, families depending on it. I realized this was no longer about me, or Lucas, or revenge. It was about something bigger. All right, I said, rising. What do I do? Their smiles held pride and worry. They knew, as I did, that what we were about to do was perilous. As Robert sketched the plan, I felt something I had never felt before, a purpose larger than my life. A legacy worth fighting for. When we stepped back outside, the rain had stopped, and thin stars pricked the clouds. An omen, I thought. Or perhaps just Boston being Boston. It did not matter. I knew that whatever happened next, I had finally found my place. And I would fight to keep it. Robert's car idled a block from the Alencar estate, lights off as we watched the house burn against the night. Every lit window was an eye, every shadow a guard. Remember the plan, Robert whispered, fingers drumming the wheel. You have 15 minutes. If I do not get your signal by then. I know, I said, hands steady at my sides. The envelope Martinez had given me lay under my coat, the papers inside feeling like armor against the treachery ahead. I stepped into the cold, drawing fuel from the air itself. I walked toward the estate not as an intruder or victim, but as an heir returning to claim what was hers. The main gates were locked. Robert had shown me another way, a service door behind the gardens that led straight to Lucas's rooms. The same door he had used to slip me the antidote. Every step across the dark garden was measured, every sound stopped me dead. The house felt wrong, too quiet for a place on high alert. The service door groaned softly. I slid into a dim corridor, shadows sliding along the walls. Following Robert's route, I climbed the service stairs, each step worn by generations of staff. Staff Robert had said were still loyal to Lucas, not Elena. Lucas's door stood ahead, 2 guards posted outside. The same men who had escorted me out hours ago. They saw me approach, faces unreadable. One stepped up. You should not be here, nurse. We have orders. From whom? I cut in, voice unwavering. From Elena? Or from the man who signs your checks? They traded uncertain looks. Mr. Alencar is not receiving visitors. He will receive this one, I said, opening the envelope to show the top document, a power of attorney granting me full authority over Lucas's medical care. Open the door. They hesitated a lifetime, then the older one nodded. 5 minutes, he said, unlocking it. We stay here. I entered, and what I saw stopped me. Lucas was not in bed. He sat in an armchair by the window, not in a hospital robe but a full suit. Elena knelt beside him, holding his hands. "Ah, Isabel," she said, rising smoothly. "We have been waiting for you." Cold slid through me. A trap. Everything, Robert, Martinez, the plan, part of her game all along. Lucas turned, and for the first time since I met him, I did not see a sick man. I saw Commander. His eyes were clear, his spine straight. "Isabel," he said, voice strong and even. "Sit. We have much to discuss." "What is this?" My legs felt hollow. You were not sick?" "Oh, I am sick," he said, a sad smile flickering. "But not in the way you think. And certainly not as Elena would prefer." Elena gave a soft laugh, settling on the bed. "My dear, do you really think I simply decided to betray my husband for money?" She gestured at Lucas. "For 2 years, while the world believed he was dying, we were working together. Cleaning house." The truth hit like a punch. They were not adversaries, they were allies. The entire spectacle had been staged. Why? I managed. Because Alencar Pharmaceuticals was being taken from within, Lucas said. Corrupt executives, researchers selling secrets, even board members working with competitors. We needed a way to expose them all at once. And you were the perfect bait, Elena added. The illegitimate daughter who appeared from nowhere. Everyone who rallied to you against me revealed themselves. I went cold. I was not part of the plan, I was the tool. Disposable. And Robert? Martinez? I asked, fists tight. Cooperating, Lucas said gently. Robert has worked for me for 20 years. Martinez has his own reasons to clean the company. The door opened. Martinez stepped in, face serious. It is done, he told Lucas. We have enough to arrest 12 senior executives, including the vice president. The federal agents are moving as we speak. Lucas nodded, eyes still on me. Now you see, Isabel? All of it was necessary. To save not only my company, but the work that can save lives. Rage surged, blinding and pure. They had used me. Manipulated every emotion, every wound. Let me believe I had found a family when I was only a piece on their corporate chessboard. And me? I asked, voice shaking with anger. What happens to me? Do you discard me with the other pieces? Lucas did the one thing I did not expect. He stood, truly stood, unassisted, and crossed to me. Tears, real and bright, gathered in his eyes. Isabel, he said, voice full. The performance, yes, it was a performance. What I feel for you, that is real. He took my hands, strong and steady, not the trembling hands of the patient I met. When the investigators found you, I intended only to use you. Then I met you. You are everything I hoped my daughter would be. His words should have soothed. They only cut deeper. Every moment of connection, every confession, real for me, instrumental for him. I cannot do this, I said, stepping back. I cannot forgive this. I cannot forget that you used me. Elena rose and came closer. Isabel, she said, voice unexpectedly gentle. Let me tell you a story. 20 years ago, Lucas had an affair. With a woman named Catherine. Your mother. She paused, letting it land. When Catherine became pregnant, Lucas abandoned her. He chose his career, his ambition. And I helped Catherine. I gave her money to start again. I hit her when she asked. My heart stopped. What? Sophia was not Lucas's, Elena continued, eyes holding an old sadness. She was my niece. Catherine was my younger sister. When she died, I swore to protect her. And when I learned Lucas was looking for you, I knew I had to protect you too. The room spun. Nothing was what it seemed. No one was who they said. So, you did not try to kill him? I asked, my mind flailing. Oh, I would have killed him if I could, she said with a sad smile. For what he did to Catherine. For abandoning you. But his work is too important. The lives he can save, that matters more than my revenge. Lucas looked at her, and for the first time I saw true respect in his eyes. Elena and I made peace long ago. But we had to keep up appearances. For the company. For the people who rely on us. He turned back to me. Isabel, I know I let you down. I know I cannot repair the 28 years I lost. But please, let me try. Let me be the father I should have been. The tears finally came, not from rage or betrayal, but from a deeper, harsher understanding. They were not heroes or villains. They were complicated people who made brutal choices in impossible circumstances. And I had a choice. I could let anger and disappointment devour me. Or I could accept that in an imperfect world, sometimes forgiveness is the only path forward. I walked to the window, looking down at the dark gardens. At a world that knew nothing of the games played inside these walls. At the people who would live because of the work Lucas and Martinez had done. I understood that my story was not about the past I lost, but the future I could build. I turned to Lucas. All right, I said, voice clear and steady. We try. But on our terms. No lies. No games. Relief broke over his face so profound it hurt to witness. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you. Elena nodded, a real smile touching her lips for the first time. Welcome to the family, Isabel. At last. And as sunrise spilled gold across Boston, bathing the room in light, I felt something I had never known, not the neat happiness of a fairy tale, but the complicated peace of accepting that life is messier, and more beautiful, than any story we could script. Because sometimes the greatest transformation is not becoming someone new, but finding the courage to accept who you have always been, and using that truth to build something that matters. And I, Isabel Connolly, daughter, nurse, heir, was finally ready to begin.